Hey everyone, Gypsy Trails here. I'm Caroline and today I'm filming a solo video about preparing healthy foods for my resupply boxes on the AT. I'm sure most of you know, thru-hikers always end up eating junk food left and right. While you will end up burning off all of the sugar, it will eventually catch up with you. My goal for the AT is not to be completely malnourished by the time I reach Katahdin and spend a little bit of extra time preparing right now just so that I have better access to healthy foods. That's not to say I'm not going to participate in the half-gallon challenge at the halfway mark of the AT at the Pine Grove General Store. I fully intend on doing that. Eating wholesome foods is something I'm really passionate about, and I hope you all get some inspiration from these recipes. I will be sharing the recipes and techniques to vacuum seal the foods I'll be placing in my hiker resupply boxes for the AT. And while these will have a shelf life of 10 plus years, you can also just place these recipes in a Ziploc baggie for your day hikes too. So you certainly don't have to use this video just for thru hikes. Today, we'll just be going over the recipes and how we're packaging up the foods. In a separate video, we'll be filming how we are actually mailing out the resupply boxes and how that all works and where to ship them and address them. So stay tuned for that. We're starting out with some dehydrated fruits. Today, I'll be using apples, pears, and bananas. Some other fruit options that work well with dehydrators are pineapples, strawberries, and mangoes. So start out by washing out your apples really well and removing the stem. Go ahead and make as thin slices as you can with the apples, but please be careful. This is kind of a dangerous step. You are going to be slicing right through the core of the apple. I know this may seem strange, but don't worry, we're going to make sure we tap out the seeds from the center before we put them in the dehydrator. Then you're going to go ahead and measure out 1 part lemon juice and 2 parts water. You can use either a fresh lemon as I am, or concentrated lemon juice is good too. Now swirl your apple slices really well in the lemon mixture and make sure that every single one of them gets coated to avoid browning in the drying process. Now, go ahead and lay all your apples out on the tray. Today I am using a Ronco food dehydrator, and I will link that down below for you guys. I will be leaving these fruits for about a day and a half to dry, but it's really up to your personal preference if you prefer a more pliable chip or more crunchy. I like when mine have a little bit more of a bend to them because it makes it a bit easier for eating. And then about halfway through your drying process, you want to make sure to flip all of the fruits over. For the bananas, again, I'm slicing them pretty thin. If your bananas are overripe, they might break easily, so you might want to make them a bit thicker. And then I'm actually experimenting today and rolling them in some PB2 powder, which is basically just powdered peanut butter. Try lots of different fruits out. There's no right or wrong in this process, so do whatever you prefer and totally experiment and have fun with it. Now, if you're only using these dehydrated fruits for a day hike, you can go ahead and just put those in a Ziploc baggie. But if you're a thru-hiker preparing resupply boxes, now we're gonna move on to the food sealing phase. My dad has been a really big help with me in this project, and we are using a Magic vacuum sealer today. It's sucking out air and also water in the process, making the food a lot lighter weight. And this is really great because these food bags can last up to like crazy amounts of years, like 10 or 20 years. Which is really great for thru hiking. Now with the food sealing, just for extra protection, we are using these silica gel packets. This particular bag is by Dry and Dry, and you can find them really easily on Amazon, and I'll also link them down below. Basically, these are going to continually suck out moisture from those bags, so if you got into contact with any type of condensation or water within your food bag, these packets will be a really great help with that. So one thing to note is that with the plastic bags, you'll want to use the silica packets and the vacuum sealer. But if you're using Mylar bags, you cannot run these through a vacuum sealer. So what you're gonna have to use are these oxygen absorber packets. And basically, as soon as you remove them from the packaging, they will be activated, and you have within a couple of minutes to place them in your bag and seal them. Within a few hours, they will continually remove the oxygen and suck it out of your bag, thus preserving your food. We really like these bags because they're not only really durable, but they also have a resealable edge, which is perfect if you want to vacuum seal some pasta. You don't have to use all of it at once. If you don't want to invest in a vacuum sealer, using the Mylar bag method is a really great way around this. All right, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make another great trail snack that you can pre-package and seal for Thru-hike. These are no-bake energy bites, and they only have 3 ingredients, so it's a really cost-effective thing to make ahead of time. And here's just a close-up of how they look. Each date bite is about 100 calories, which is quite a lot, so it's really good for hiking when you're actually trying to eat a lot of calories. All you're gonna need is some shredded coconut, some fresh medjool dates, and either some chopped walnuts or pecans, basically your nut of choice, and a food processor or a stand mixer. I just have a stand mixer today. So let's get right into it. First thing you're going to want to do is measure out 1 cup of your nuts, and then we're going to go ahead and finely chop those as tiny as possible. You can also buy the pre-cut nuts that are already coarsely ground up. Alright, so this is about the texture you're looking for. Basically the texture of very fine cornmeal, if you can get it basically as small as possible. Go ahead and pour that into your mixing bowl. If your dates aren't pitted, you're going to want to go ahead and take out the pits. Go ahead and remove the rest of the pits until you have 1 cup of dates. And we'll go ahead and place them into our mixing bowl with the nuts. And we're going to go ahead and just blend this until it forms a nice solid consistency and everything is combined. I'm also going to be adding in a 1/4 cup of the shredded coconut. Go ahead and blend. All right. This looks perfect. Nice and sticky. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and roll the date mixture into bite-sized balls. And I have a little bowl of coconut here that I'll be rolling them in. All right, I've got all of my date bites rolled out and I'm really happy with how they came out. If you are a day hiker, you can go ahead and just pack these in a Ziploc and place them in the freezer until you're ready to start your hike. But if you're hoping to take these on a through hike, you can watch the next part of the video and I'll show you how to vacuum seal these to stay for up to 8 months. So I went ahead and stuck my date balls in the freezer for about an hour. So they are nice and hard now, and we are ready to place them in the vacuum sealer. The first step is to go ahead and trim your bag. Now I'm going to go ahead and seal the bottom edge of the bag. All right, we've got a nice seal there. Now I'm going to load in about 4 or 5 of the date bites. Now I'm going to close the lid and hit the vacuum and seal button, and that's basically going to remove any air or residual moisture from the bag. The sealing mode is set to humid, as this is a very sticky, wet food, so it will suck less moisture out of this bag. For the apple chips, for instance, you'd want to set your mode to dry. All right, here we go. And there you have it. Perfect vacuum sealed date bites. Alright, so thank you all for watching. I hope you got some inspiration for your own trail snacks, as well as your resupply boxes if you're through hiking. I can't wait to see you all out there, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy trails!